Hi guys, it's Tracy Ford. Welcome to the Tracy Ford channel. Today we are going to talk about the moth. And whether you believe it or not, these small little animals are quite powerful. You are going to find a lot of things out about yourself today, more than likely. If you have a moth that's attached to you, it will probably become quite clear as to why it's attached to you, as well as why you practice what you practice and say some of the things that you say and do some of the things that you do. So the moth is a very different kind of spirit animal. You wouldn't think that the smaller creatures could create a really solid path to spirituality, but they're very strong. They have a very strong energy that they pull from the source. So moths live everywhere in the world, except in very cold climates. They will not survive there. And their bodies are covered in hair. And if they're handled, that hair will fall off. And they feel, taste, and smell, as well as have the ability to determine temperature. So they have an excellent sense of sight. And the folks that are often pulling energy from a moth totem have the ability to see psychically as well as to heal. But as with the moth, they often have the habit of picking up energy from other sources, and they will carry that energy with them. That isn't necessarily a good thing to have, because it can really drain your energy, and sometimes it can even make you physically ill if you are pulling from people's energy and you're holding on to that. This is not something that you can probably help. It's something that you've always had and you can't quite understand it. But what I can tell you is that Reiki can actually help you guard against that particular problem, and you can learn how to shield against those types of things. The moth spirit animal or spirit totem has the ability to move very easily in dark places, and they symbolize transformation. They can easily confuse the threat or their predators. They can confuse them, and they can find light in some of the darkest places. They can help the human that they're attached to hear spoken and unspoken messages from the spirit. And moths are essentially the darker side of the butterfly. The butterfly is a transformative animal, and the moth is as well. So people who find that they have a moth in their lives will likely be very psychically inclined, who can clearly see things that have not happened yet. They tend to be nocturnal people. They enjoy nighttime much better than they enjoy daytime. And the people who have a moth that attaches to them are often very optimistic, and they can offer a very refreshing change of pace to anyone who's willing to take on that understanding. Moth people can see the silver lining even when it's in its darkest. They are great listeners, and they often find themselves in help careers like counseling and teaching and social work and psychology. And they tend to be very popular people and highly respected in their peer groups. They are generous, and they adapt very well to change. They love motion and dancing, and they're very, very intuitive. And they're actually more intuitive than they would probably ever admit. My friend just discovered that she has a moth as a spirit animal, and she is a healer by trade as well as in her nature. She works in the medical field, so she is a trained healer, but she also uses herbs and oils to patch people up and to help them and to heal them. And she also is a psychologist of sorts. Anytime you talk to her, she can put a psychological spin on things so that you understand them. She's a very deep thinker, and even though she would never admit it, she feels very deeply. So if you feel that you have a moth attached to you, you can start gathering tangible representations of that animal and either put it on your altar or like wear it in earrings or a necklace. Something that represents that spirit animal is very important for you to be able to bond with that spirit animal. If you're not sure what type of spirit animal that you have, then that's when you need to get a hold of me or someone who can do those types of things and help you see the spirit animal that you have, as well as connect to that animal. If you have questions, please let me know. If you would like to get in touch with me, my social media handles are at the end of this video. Otherwise, have a great week. Love and light to you, and we will talk next time.